Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mango Kango here, and today we're gonna be kind of looking at the new addition to the house. I redid the first floor. There's a couple of reasons why I did this. One, obviously, I had a lot of new ideas going on in my head, and I'm like, I gotta have some way of building this stuff, and with the build limit and not being able to switch between houses or save files, it makes it very hard to, go about doing that. And also, I felt like the first floor was getting a little old. I've had it for a while. I really didn't want to get rid of it because of the memories it had, but at the same time, it wasn't keeping up to date with the potential that I could put forth. So I've noticed around a certain time that people started to, really, really take inspiration from the things that I had built, which is perfect. That's exactly what I want. However, some people started to full-on copy the entire layout, but I feel like there's a difference between being inspired by something and almost copying it, like, fully. I mean, the layout was exactly the same, and a lot of things that I had placed in certain areas, they placed as well, and just almost everything seemed to be very, very similar. And, I'm fine with you guys copying me, it doesn't really spark an issue to me by any means. I just would prefer that the ideas would be used rather than the entire layout of my house. I feel like that's a little bit different, but all in all, I'm glad you guys are liking the videos and whatnot. Another thing real quick, when it comes to people asking for like very specifics on how I did entire like floors or entire areas, like I know some people were asking like, how'd you do the outside of your house, because like, or the IDs for all of it. I want to be able to do the same exact thing you did. Well, believe it or not, I like my own ideas as well, and certain things I'd rather have not copied fully because I like to keep it original, and I don't want someone else's house to look exactly like mine. I'm down with giving you guys IDs and all that. I just would prefer that you guys don't copy it entirely. With that out of the way, I do have more planned for this channel. It's just I haven't uploaded in a while because there's been just a good amount of things going on. And anyway, I'm gonna cut to a part where I destroyed the house, and yeah, it should be fun to watch. It's sped up for you guys, so yeah, enjoy that. Alright, and I don't know if you skipped through it, but if you did watch it, yeah, it actually took quite a while to get through. That was on like 6 times speed or something like that. So anyway, let's get into the new first floor. And here it is. Now, I'm sure some of you have probably seen teasers of the fountain, because I think someone took a picture of it as I was building it, which, fine by me, but yeah, I wasn't really expecting that. So where do I start? I guess we could start with the main focus here in the middle is the fountain that I have here. It could be better, because obviously everything can be better, but I do think that this is pretty nice. I've got like these little areas here where I got some plants growing out of, and then obviously the water and the fountain. Very hard to get the paint match on the water to match the water here, but it all kind of matches in an okay sense, so I don't think it's too bad. And you know, I've never seen anything done like this before, which is why I took on the challenge of doing it, and I think it turned out pretty nice. Also over here, we have a new type of seating that I actually had come up with as I was building, and it's actually very nice. It consists of the Halloween cat couch, I believe is what it's called, and the patio seating. So they go really well together, and it adds some pillows to and some cushioning to the seat. And it almost looks like it was supposed to be like that. So I think it's pretty good. And then obviously for the sides here and some of the corners, we have the classic little enclosure for the plants. I don't think I'm ever not going to use that. I always love the idea of that. It just looks so nice. So obviously for the flooring, you know, I kind of separated them into different sections. For over here, I tried to do what I did in the other one, just a little bit maybe more complicated or less complicated. I actually don't entirely remember. I just know I really wanted to add something like this again, just a little smaller, because it's just such a, I don't know how to explain it, but it just really matches that whole theme of like a Japanese aesthetic or whatnot. So yeah, I thought that was really nice. If we go up here, I did add the trophy area again because, I don't know, you gotta have some way of showing the trophies. For the pillars or little separators here, they're obviously dojo shelves. I mean, you can tell. I wasn't gonna go through the full effort of trying to get them to lock in with the ground, because the problem is, for whatever reason, nothing can go past this point. As you can see, the posters and the dojo shelves, nothing can sit on this area, which is really weird. Not sure what the purpose is on the developing side of things. I'm sure it's just some sort of bug that they weren't fully expecting. We have a nice separator here. Very basic. I've done this in the past. And then this beautiful overlook, which I'll never get over. These are actually the dojo drums, and I flipped them upside down and pushed them into one another, and it creates this really cool fence. It looks like a fence, so I think it's really nice. And then for the bottom here, these areas, these little mini sections holding it up here, those are actually they're these lights. I don't know what they're called, but they're supposed to be hung from the ceiling, obviously, but if you know me, I don't like to use things in the way they're supposed to be used. So if you put them on the ground, for whatever reason, the whole bottom half merges into the ground, and it creates these little, like, mini pillars. So, you know, I kind of just threw those in, and it matched really well, and from a distance especially, it just looks amazing. So then if we go on over here, I have a little greenhouse or shelving for the plants like I had shown in one of the other videos. It fit in really nice over here, just adds something to the build. And then I have these rafters going along the top here. For this idea, I have to give a mini shout out to her name's Kavitka. She had this in one of her houses, and you know, I've always kind of thought of the idea of adding like rafters, but I never really could pinpoint on exactly like what item would make a good one. And then yeah, she kind of had these in her house, and I was like, that's a pretty good idea. I'm gonna use that to some extent in here. Obviously what I have is a little different, but it's fairly the same idea. You take two modern coffee tables and you reverse them in on one another, and they create this. If you guys need a video on that, I'd be more than happy to do something like that for you. I also know Mimic, or I think he goes by Mimic. He also has this in his house, and you know, I always see his stuff, and he's really good at creating new things as well, and couldn't help myself but to add something like this in the house, and I thought it looked really nice. One thing I haven't seen other people have though with this is these little sections where it goes through one of the other rafters here. Looks very nice, because if you notice the styling here, the square is very similar to the square on this lamp right here. It just adds to that Japanese aesthetic. And then for the bottom here, to make it less obvious that they're glitching into one another, and to add some nice I don't know, curvature or whatever, I added some of the logs from the Thanksgiving or fall presents and put them upside down and just color matched them. and it looks very nice. Also here at the top, if you can see my mouse, I have it so that the coffins are adding more to that angled look, so that way it's not so squared off, it's more angular, and it just adds to the everything, I guess. You know, it makes it kind of more flush in design. If we go over here, I don't really know what the purpose of this is, I just tried to make it look different. If we go in here, this is the kitchen. And for this kitchen, I wasn't really trying to make it anything crazy. I just really wanted to make it feel like, again, some sort of Japanese aesthetic. Now, I know I don't got it down like perfectly, but you know, I definitely gave it a try. Over here, I used that idea from one of the other videos with the plants, kind of putting them in these little like sections where they can kind of sit in, like a plant bed, kind of. For the kitchen, very simple as far as the cabinets and stuff go. There's not really many ways that I've seen to really up your kitchen game, because they don't really have the largest amount for that. Over here, this is more of this is like a, you can put your plates in it, plate rack. It helps them dry. Have these little lamps here. Nothing too special, just really trying to keep it a certain aesthetic. For this table here, I actually really like this idea. I don't know how I've never thought of this before, and I've never seen it before, which is really interesting. I took 4 of the, I think they're called like the 80s desk or something. Yeah, right here. And I took them all and put them in, going into one another in kind of a circle motion or fashion, and again, looks really nice. It's nice and compact, and it adds to that circularness that this game is kind of missing sometimes. And then lastly, for the ceiling in here, yeah, I took the fall like park benches. I don't know what they're exactly called, but it really makes it seem like it gives it life up here on the ceiling. It really adds to it. So, you know, I've never seen that done before, so I gave it a go and it turned out pretty nice. I'm always trying to do new things. And then for the hallway here, this hallway connects to the main area here. If you walk in, you're met with this. Up here, I kind of just tried to add some, greenery, some plant life into the rafters up here again. Over here, just another bookshelf, nothing too special. And then we have the living room. I'll start with the fish tank over here. I tried to do something different. Have the treadmills going in on one another, the bathtub, and then the toilet. It's the really expensive toilet. I really don't know what it's called, guys. I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about when I say that. It's like the Zitaku or something. It just adds to the shape and the styling of the like area below the fish tanks. And over here we just have something from another video where I went over some like table designs and whatever. It's a little coffee table, again with that square styling, and just the coloration and it being different in general makes it that much cooler in my opinion. Another separator here. This one's a little different because I have it extending out a little bit more, using the new seating that I had come up with. Looks really nice over here. And then lastly, obviously we got the fireplace. I took the Christmas fireplace. You could use the antler one as well because they're both pretty similar. And then again, I combined a lot of things to make this work. It just looks really nice. And you know, if you really want to know, it consists of like, I think some toy bookshelves, treadmills, a patio chair set flipped backwards, some dojo shelves, and some TVs. It gets a little complicated in that sense, but yeah, nonetheless, it looks fairly nice here in this setting. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the first floor. I kind of went over it a little bit quick. It took around like 2 or 3 days to do. I wouldn't say that's too bad. It actually went by kind of quick because, you know, once you kind of get used to building and what works and what doesn't work, things begin to just be quicker. You begin to get very used to how things work in general when it comes to that stuff. Again, I just want to mention something. The build limit. Yeah, I wasn't able to do anything over here because the furniture limit kind of sucks. yeah, leave a like if you want to see more. I do plan on, making more tutorial videos because obviously that's what the channel kind of revolves around. I do have another like horror game playing with some friends coming out too. Hope you guys give that a chance. But yeah, see you guys whenever the next video comes out.